Hi, my name is Holly and welcome back to my channel. So today we have a lot of books to get through because I have a very ambitious TBR for the month of November. It's probably not ambitious to a lot of people, but it is for me. COVID has been a very Reid slumpy time for me. I've been binging a lot of TV, but to me that's a lot more passive, unless you're watching something with subtitles, which if anyone out there is into K-drama, you've probably already seen it, but if you haven't, it's okay to not be okay. 10 stars out of 5. It's amazing. Go watch it. It's wonderful. Anyway, let's jump into this TBR. I'm sorry for clapping right in front of the mic. That was rude. Okay. So, for the first time in a very long time, there will be no YA on this TBR. We've got predominantly romance / rom-coms. We've got a couple of thrillers, a sci-fi, a comedy memoir, lots of fun stuff. Let's dive in. So first off, we have The Truth Hurts by Rebecca Reid. This is a book about newlyweds, which, as a newlywed, well, not really a newlywed, my anniversary is in a couple of weeks, but that's beside the point. Yeah, okay, so a couple of newlyweds, they have this rule: we don't talk about the past. Well, maybe the husband's past is a little bit shady. Is the husband sus? Let's find out. Then I have The Other Bennett Sister by Janice Hadlow. So this is the story of Mary from Pride and Prejudice. I'm sure most people know who that is and why that would be interesting, but she is the ugly duckling, introvert sister of the main characters. I love Mary. I identify with Mary as the deeply introverted one in a family of extroverts. I feel her on like a personal level. So anyway, this is supposed to kind of like give her her own story. I think it also gives her her own romance, so that'll be really interesting to see. Kind of giving us a different perspective on a few of the other characters. I have heard that it's a bit slow, but I like British television and K-dramas, so I know how to deal with slow. The slow burn is real. Cool. Oh, totally forgot to mention it. We also have a self-help book. So I have Winging It by Emma Issacs. This is supposed to be basically that women are chronic overthinkers and just need to like dive into doing things. And I am an incredible overthinker, overplanner. I love just planning things and I overthink things, but in also not a fun way, because like the anxiety of overthinking can be like real intense. So anyway, I'm gonna read this book, see if it's got anything interesting to say. Next up, we have The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. So that is a writing duo. I've read several of their books. For the most part, I rate them 3.5 to 4.5 stars. They're typically pretty inoffensive and pretty quick to get through, so I'm anticipating a good time. This one follows two people who work for a Chip and Joanna Gaines style couple. If you don't know who Chip and Joanna Gaines, they are the famous couple from the show Fixer Upper, which they have since gone and expanded their brand exponentially. There have been cookbooks and restaurants and bakeries and stores. They have a line in Target. Yeah, they're huge. But anyway, this couple seems to be based on them. And then two people that work for them basically trying to hold their relationship together, so that the TV couple trying to hold their relationship together, so that way everybody can continue to make money. And that kind of fulfills a very interesting thought for me, because I've always kind of wondered if Chip and Joanna's relationship is real, because frankly Chip just seems exhausting sometimes and Joanna just seems like a really no-nonsense person. So I sometimes wonder, like, how real is that relationship? But anyway, yeah, so two co-workers basically falling for each other. That should be interesting. Then I also have one that just sounds too freaking adorable for words. The Tourist Attraction by Sarah Morgenthaler. I'm gonna go with Morgenthaler. This is part 1 of the Moose Springs, Alaska series. That sounds precious. It's basically about a grumpy local and a sunny tourist. Where can you go wrong? Love a good rom-com. Then we have, so this was a surprise to me. I didn't know that Meg Cabot wrote adult romance. I thought she just wrote YA romances, so I'm very interested in this. This is No Judgements. This is the first in the Little Bridge Island kind of series thing that she's got going. Basically, we have a heroine who kind of says that she's done with love and she lives on this little tiny island, and then there's a big storm. And being the bleeding heart character that she sounds like she is, she's very concerned about the island's pets who are now separated from their peoples. And she needs the help of this guy who, I don't know, works for her uncle or something. I don't know. Anyway, they're animals and a rom-com. Where can you go wrong? Then we have Meet Cute by Helena Hunting. This one has a girl basically falling in love with her celebrity crush through like a meet cute, and who doesn't want that kind of fan service? I'm here for it. I'm good. Then we also have something a little bit more serious for me. If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha is a work of fiction about several women from South Korea, kind of dealing with the impossible beauty standards. If you don't know anything about the Korean beauty community, there is a lot of really high standards. Add to that K-pop and the kind of, there's some misogyny kind of things going on with like where some of these girls work. So I think that'll be interesting to read to somebody who has watched K-dramas and who has a best friend who is deeply obsessed with K-pop. And knowing at least a little bit about that culture, trying to get a different view in there. And then I also have Dear Girls by Ali Wong. Figured that I would need something funny to kind of lighten the mood there. So those are all the books that I have from the library on my Overdrive. And then if we jump over to my Hoopla, alrighty, so I have Things You Save in a Fire by Katherine Center. I heard about this book a while back from Heather on Bookables. She mentioned this book in one of her videos. It sounded really cute. It is about a female firefighter who is basically having to prove herself and kind of has this rule that you don't date firefighters so that you get taken seriously. And of course, that anyone who has a rule, that rule is going to get broken in a romance book. Am I wrong? So basically, she's had to move home because her mom has some health issues, and then she starts kind of falling for this rookie firefighter. So I've heard it's really good. I'm very interested in that, so I have that as an audiobook. Then I also have Stuck on You by Portia MacIntosh. This one kind of sounds like the flat share. So in this book, they desk share and they leave each other post-its, and that's how they start to like fall for each other, even having never met each other. So you know, that sounds cute. Let's give that one a shot. Also have that as an audiobook. All these next ones are basically going to be audiobooks. And then I also have All the Acorns on the Forest Floor by Kim Hooper. This one I'm a little nervous about because it's basically about women and motherhood and people who got pregnant and didn't plan on it, people who planned on it and never did, people who gave away babies or were given up. It just seems like a collection of stories around how things just don't go as planned, around motherhood and pregnancy. And I have some weird things with pregnancy, I'm not gonna lie. I have some like really extreme body horror associated with the idea of being pregnant. and childbirth, so that one may freak me out a little too much, but I'm trying to push myself. Anyway, then I also have Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I've heard that this is supposed to be like the granddaddy of like sci-fi fantasy, and just seems like one of those books that you should eventually get around to reading. So I've got that one. And then I also have The Shadows by Alex North. I do know that this is like a murder thriller. I actually like to not know a lot about a thriller going in, because I feel like the more you know, the less fun they are. Like, so yeah, I'll probably eat that one up because it's an audiobook and it's a thriller, and I'm one of those people who's just like, oh my god, I have to know what's gonna happen. Yeah, so that is all of the books I have currently. I will probably end up having to recheck out a couple of them. I've got, I think, 18 days left and 14 books, because I checked them out a couple of days ago in anticipation of this. So yeah, wish me luck. This is very ambitious for me, but we're gonna try, man, you know. And if I DNF a few along the way, that's fine. I'm very much a proponent of DNFing. If you're not enjoying something, don't force yourself to keep reading. I've done that to myself so many times. If you like dig way back in my history, I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter was like the worst book I've ever read for me, and I hated it all the way through from like page 1. I hated it, and I read through the whole thing, and it was just a miserable time, and I don't know why I did that to myself. So now if I'm not enjoying something, I'm done. I might give it, you know, a couple of chapters to be like, okay, I'm bored, what are we doing here? But if I'm just genuinely slogging through something and I'm not having fun, I'm done. I'm not gonna do it, because life is too precious. I'm sorry, life is just too precious to read books you hate. So yeah. Anyway, wish me luck with my crazy shenanigans, and I will be back with more videos soon. Like I said, we're doing this vlog style from here on out for a while. We're gonna test that out, see how we feel about it. Thanks for hanging out with me today, y'all. Bye.